Hello. Let's solve CAT 2024 slot 1 quantitative ability questions. Okay. So, there are 22 questions. Let's see one by one. Okay. Now, in September, the income of Kamal, Amal and Bimal are in the ratio of 8:6:5. They rent a house together and Kamal pays 15%, Amal pays 12% and Bimal pays 18% of their respective income to cover the total house rent in that month. In October, the house rent remains unchanged while their income increased by 10%, 12% and 15% respectively. In October, the percentage of the total income will be paid as house rent is nearest to, right. Okay. So, let us see here, let us write Kamal as K. So, Kamal, Amal and Bimal, and their incomes are in the ratio of 8:6:5 in September, right. So, let us write income in September, Now, for convenience to make calculation simple, let us say their incomes are 800, 600 and 500, okay. So, let us say it is 800, Amal is 600 and Bimal is 500. Now, so how much they are paying the rent? Let us find the rent. So, rent paid by them Kamal pays 15%, right. So, 1% of 800 is 8, 15% will be 8 into 15. So, Kamal is paying 120, okay. Amal pays 12%, 1% is 6. So, 12% 6 12 6 is 72 and Bimal pays 18%, right. So, 1% is 5, 18% is 90, right. Okay. In October, the house rent remains same and their income increases, right. So, their income in October, right, let us write their October's income. In October, income increased by 10%, 12%, 15% respectively. So, Kamal's income increased by 10%. So, it is 800 is increased by 10%, 10% of 800 is 80. So, it is increased by 80. I am just writing the increment, right, okay, plus 80. So, it 800 plus 80, right. Now, Amal increased by 12%. So, 600 increased by 12%, 12% of 600 is 72. So, it is increased by 72 plus 72, that is 672, right, okay, the new income. And the Bimal increased by 15%, 1% is 5, 15% is 15 5s are 75, okay. Now, they are asking in October the percentage of total income will be paid as house rent is the nearest to. Now, how much they are paying the house rent? House rent is same, right. So, let us calculate how much they are paying the house rent. Let us add this. Now, 120 plus 90, okay, that will be 210, 210 plus 72, that is 282. The rent paid is 282, right. Now, they are asking 282 is what percentage of October's income, right. Now, what was September's income? Let us add September's income. It was 1100 plus 800, it was 1900 and now in October increased by, so I have written the increment, right. So, this is 75 plus 72, this is 147, 147 plus 80, 227, right, 227. So, now it is October's income is 1900 plus 227, right. So, we have to calculate 282 is what percent of, this will be 2127, right. So, we have to calculate 282 is what percentage of 2127. Now, you see 10% of this is 10% of 2127 will be 212.70, this is the 10%, and you see this is, if you take roughly 212, right. So, I can write it as 212 okay, I am just taking as 212, okay, plus we have to add around 70. Basically it will be 212.70, 70 paise, it will be 69 rupees 30 paise, okay. So 10% is 212 rupees 70 paise, we can take roughly 212, right. So 282 is 212 plus 70, or actual was it is 212 rupees 70 paise plus 69 rupees 30 paise, right, it will be same thing. Now you see 212.70 is 10%, okay. So this part is 10%, roughly this is 10%, okay, and you see 1% is 21.27, right. So this is 10% and plus 69.30, or you can take roughly 70. Now you see 1% is 21 point something, so 3% will be 63 point something, but 4% will be 84, right. So we have to add 70, so it will be more than 70, or actual value is 69.30. It is more than 3%, this 69.30, but less than 4%. So we know our answer will be more than 13%, but less than 14%. If you look at the option, there is only one option, more than 13% and less than 14%, that is 13.26. So 13.26 the 13.26% is the answer. I hope this is clear, okay.